Righto, g'day guys, it's Noddy here again doing a tutorial. I'm going to teach you how to provision a Cisco SPA303 with the 3CX PBX system. These aren't a bad little phone, they're an entry-level desk phone. They work really well with the 3CX system. So anyway, let's get started. I'll show you what needs to happen. Well, what you need to do first of all is go into 3CX and create a new extension. So write down the authentication name and password, because we'll need that later. I'm assuming you know how to do that. So yeah, do that step first, and then what you need to do is probably do a factory reset of your SPA303. Might not be new, maybe you bought it second hand, or anyway, it's good to always start with a clean slate, because this video I'm going to be showing you what values you need to change from standard. So to do the factory reset, it's just a matter of clicking this setup button, which is the one I'm pointing to now with the cursor. Push that, that brings up a menu, and you need to find option 14, which is the factory reset. Hit the select button. The first screen is going to come up here saying if you want to continue, you hit OK, and that'll reset the unit. What you need to do after it's done its reset is you need to find out its IP address so that we can access its web interface. So what you need to do is, on the phone, push the setup button again, scroll down to network, and press the select soft key, and you'll be able to scroll and view its current IP address. So write that IP address down, then you need to go over to your browser and open up that address. Okay, so I've got my browser open here. I actually like to use a different browser for the interfaces, because then I can save shortcuts on the shortcut bar here. So there's all these programs that have web interfaces that I use on my server. You know, all sorts of ones along here. So I like to save them. So anyway, that's up to you. Now you need to put in the IP address of this SPA303 unit. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I know mine is 192.168.1.147. Okay, so here's the actual interface, the web interface that is. Now, you've got to be careful here. You need to click the admin login up on the top right, and also click advanced. So whenever you're doing any editing of this interface, make sure you've done that, because it defaults to a more basic setting, and half the stuff you need to change won't be there. So I'm just going to go through screen by screen as to what you need to put in to get this working really quickly. First of all, click System. Now, I feel the best way to go with this is to put it on a static IP. So I'm going to set up a static IP for this unit. So I'll key that information in. I'm going to key in the gateway's IP. And this net mask over here as well. Alright, now the host name, this is what's going to be seen as on the network. So I've only got one of these phones, so I'm just going to call it SPA303. You might like to call it something else if you've got more, you know, multiple phones. Now, one important thing you need to do here is set the time server. So put in a time server that's relevant to your location. I'm in Australia, so I'm going to put in this one here. If you don't put that in, unfortunately the phone's time seems to always be wrong, so it's a good idea if you can do that. Go for it. Now I'm going to hit submit after I change each page. It takes about 30 seconds for the unit to reboot, so I'm going to pause during that in between slides. Hit submit. Well, I think of it too, because we went and changed it to a static IP, you've also got to re-enter the correct new IP up at the top. Otherwise, it's going to have that old one, so you never get anywhere. So again, you got to each time click on the admin and then click on the advanced. This next tab we're going to do is, what are we doing? We're going to do phone. So click on phone. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to do SIP. So click the SIP button. I think there's only one thing we need to change here, which is RTP packet size. So that needs to be decreased down to 0.020. So we submit that. The next one we're doing is regional. So I've clicked regional. I think the only thing here is time zone. You got to set your time zone. I'm in Queensland, so I'm putting mine on +10. Okay, next one is phone. So we click phone. Now, the most important thing here is to put in the address of the 3CX corporate address book. Otherwise, you know, on the SPA303, you won't have that phone book won't show up. So we've got to tell it the address, and I'm just going to key that in now, which is, and you need to put the IP address of the 3CX server. In my case, it's 192.168.1.2, and the port, which is 5000. Then it's /provisioning /Cisco _phonebook.xml. Just double checking that's correct. So make sure you save that. So we'll submit those changes. Next tab is extension 3. Click on that. We want to disable that. Line enable to no. And same with extension 2. We're going to disable it. Line enable as no. Now let's click on extension 1. This is actually the one that there's the most settings that we need to alter. So make sure your SIP port's the same as in 3CX. So it should be 5060. Now, in regards to proxy, actually I've done, just before I go on, I've made one mistake already. I need to click that into advanced mode up there, so we need to be under advanced, otherwise half the stuff doesn't show up. Okay. Line enable is yes. We need to just check a few things here. Let's have a look. We're going to go down to this one here, which is the proxy and registration. So under proxy, we need to put in the address of the 3CX server, which we need to bang that in there. And let's just check some of these settings. Make a call out registration, no is fine. All that looks pretty good. Now this is an important section. We need to put in the display name. Now the SPA303 at my house is in the garage, so I'm going to go garage phone, and I've created a user ID in 3CX as extension 21, so user ID will be 21. Password is the password that I have chosen, which is just PBX. Now this one here has to be on yes. Authentication ID is same, it's 21 for me. So we put those settings in there. Now I'm just checking this against my notes. Probably the only thing we need to do now is this dial plan, which all this stuff in here needs to go, and we're just going to simply put this in. So that's in brackets, the square brackets, that is, with an X, a star, close brackets, and a dot. So I'm going to submit all that. Alright, now it's all working by the looks, so we're just going to click admin and advanced, get us into that mode, and then we can check our screen. Let's have a look at phone status. Let's scroll down to extension 1 status, and it's got registered. So if we go across to our 3CX system, you'll see my extension garage number 21. I've got green light, so we are good to go. So that's the end. If there's any questions, please email me. And I've put all the screenshots of my settings on on the bottom of the YouTube description so that you can click on it and make a printout for when you're going through and editing yours. All the best. Cheers.